Let's get you voices from the ground. These are the voters of Gujarat, the citizens of Gujarat, and what are they talking about? I was in Vadodara, which is the cultural capital of Gujarat, and I met a very interesting group of women. I also spoke to some women in rural parts of Anand, listening to their stories, and I'll be seeing you tomorrow. Thanks so much for watching. Kala Ghoda. This 115-year-old statue of Maharaja Sayaji Rao Gaikwad has been the identity of Vadodara for years. 2 kilometers from here is Seema Shah's Dream Machines Service Centre. In 1999, Seema became the only woman to run a Maruti service centre in Gujarat. She says only a cosmopolitan city like Vadodara could have accepted a woman in the automobile sector.
And all my friends, outstation friends who've been here, studied here, really remember Baroda. It's the vibe, it's the educational city, and it was like a place for retirement people. Now it's changed and a lot of industries are also coming up. But it's really nice and it's got a vibe that you are very close-knit. It's like a family living together. Now it's huge, so difficult to believe. But I think it's a cosmopolitan crowd. You meet so many different people, you learn so many different things, and the proof that I'm running this workshop from 23 years, it's what do you call it? It's so safe for women in that sense. So, I mean, it's amazing.
On a Sunday, this place is also a meeting hub of her friends. N. Divya from Kerala accepted Baroda as her home a decade ago. And Sheetal Shah, a life coach, says that infrastructure, education and a strong leader is what will decide her vote this election.
As a citizen, I feel two things play a very important role for developing a city. First is infrastructure and second is education. So when I see the infrastructure of my city developing, bringing about a change in the road network, and I see educational institutions engaging in activities, engaging in workshops and taking up curriculums that help children stabilize and even mobilize once they are out of the school, because ultimately all these children are also going to be voters. And when a child is groomed into knowing the rights and responsibilities, it sets the stepping stone for making an adult.
That push on infrastructure that we are seeing particularly, you think that has made Gujarat what it is?
Yes,
there is a road network, there is so many things in this city. I mean, I've been traveling and there is this sense that there is emphasis on roads, metros.
Yeah, there is definitely an emphasis on connecting the city better because it is growing and the population has increased tremendously. So, just the way I think civic planning is being taken into account. I think that, projects have taken longer than, some would have liked. So it has become something that we are looking forward to, but it has taken a little time. But hopefully that is one of the things that make it easier to commute within the city.
So what are the issues that will decide your vote?
So
she has spoken about infrastructure and education.
Yes.
What about you?
I think for me, civic planning is very important because although the city is getting developed in terms of infrastructure and road planning, I think like the situation where you have certain things that are not being done at a fast pace, so they keep recurring. You don't think of planning ahead. So 5-year planning, 10-year planning, what needs to be done. I think that sometimes is not taken into account.
3 things that would decide my vote, like I have a small daughter, so education, because you see so much foray made internationally, so we would definitely welcome it as a change in Baroda. As a business person, I would like ease of business, which has tremendously improved, and I still a lot of scope for small entrepreneurs like me to be really hopeful, and lot of clarity with GST. That party would take my vote, I guess.
I think during campaigning, these promises are always one of the first things that come up. If they continue and they deliver on the promise, that is always what one would want, because they're very they are very beneficial to the people of the city and to the state. But I think if they are not delivered, and then you after a few years you're still promising, that's the problem that one occurs.
Very positive.
Geeta Sigdar's vote is also for those powering the city's fast-growing infrastructure.
I'm going to look for people who are going to be proactive in the society, keep up their promises that I've been reading and hearing so much just before the elections, and I hope they really are able to give a good infrastructure, good safety environment for everybody, and continue the cultural cosmopolitan city that it is.
The emphasis on infrastructure, I'm listening a lot from women. So what exactly is...
So the city has been looking at bridges coming up. It's been a long time. Pandemic may have been a reason, but the roads, the bridges which are coming up are taking a longer time than expected. I travel often to Ahmedabad. There I find that the infrastructure growth is much faster and better in comparison to our city. So I really hope that the projects that the government has taken up should see an end very soon.
So you have faith in the present government?
I have. There are a lot of changes that has taken place in the past. Quick changes. The city has become very clean. There are a lot of toilets and other things which has come up, which was expected. People used to talk about it, but nothing happened. But in the past few years, a lot of changes can be seen, which is positive.
Moti Sankhiyad in Anand is buzzing with political activity. The campaign is heating up, and so is the political discussion. At the Bholinath Mandir Chowk, Congress and BJP supporters are divided by ideology, but united by the stand that the Aam Aadmi Party is a non-player, and the battle in Gujarat is bipolar. सबसे बड़ा मुद्दा क्या है?
मैडम, इस बार इलेक्शन में सबसे मुद्दा है ये गुजरात में बार बार विद्यार्थी बहुत मेहनत करते हैं, फिर भी ये सरकार पेपर फोड़ देती है। उसकी पूरी जिम्मेदारी है। लोगों को खाने के लिए अभी दर दर भटकना पड़ता है। महंगाई बहुत हो गई है मैडम। ये सरकार को कुछ रात्रि में कोई सोच नहीं आती। अभी गांव में क्या हालात है आप सब लोगों को दिखाई दे रहा है।
महंगाई मुद्दा है?
नहीं, महंगाई कोई मुद्दा नहीं है।
ये बोलते महंगाई मुद्दा है?
नहीं, वो तो पैसा ऐसा कम मिलता ही है, तो महंगाई नहीं है, वो तो सस्ता मिलता है। अनाज भी देते हैं सस्ता। अभी साग भाजी का बहुत सस्ता हो गया, तो कोई महंगा नहीं है।
तो यहाँ पर पूरे गांव में एकदम
मैडम
साफ तौर पर लोग
अन्न सुरक्षा,
भाजपा के साथ।
मैडम जी, अन्न सुरक्षा वो हमारा इंदिरा राष्ट्रीय राजीव गांधी का कायदा है। आज ये महंगाई आसमान पर है, पूरी दुनिया देख रही है, पूरा गुजरात देख रहा है। अब मुझे नहीं, सबको पूछ लो महंगाई कितने आसमान चले। लोगों को अभी खाना क्या, लोगों को बहुत परेशान है।
महंगाई है?
नहीं, महंगाई जैसी वस्तु भी नहीं है।
नहीं
है। महंगाई किसको देख पड़ी की खाते हैं चुटकी, तो 5-5, 25-25 चुटकी खाते हैं। ये कहाँ से पैसा लाता है? ये महंगाई है।
मैडम जी महंगाई अभी भाजपा वालों को नहीं दिखाई रही। आम लोगों को पूछो आप, कितने लोगों को कितने परेशानी है। बहुत महंगाई है।
सब लोग कांग्रेस के बारे में कम बात कर रहे हैं, आम आदमी पार्टी के बारे में ज्यादा बात कर रहे हैं। आपका जो भाजपा का जो चुनाव है वो किसके अगेंस्ट में, कांग्रेस के खिलाफ है या आम आदमी पार्टी है?
कांग्रेस के भाजपा के खिलाफ होगा।
कांग्रेस वर्सेस बीजेपी।
आम आदमी का
आम आदमी कहीं नहीं।
कोई गुजरात में कभी तीसरी पार्टी चली नहीं, चलने वाली नहीं, सबको पता है। आम आदमी वो बीजेपी की बी टीम है, वो सबको दिखाई दे रहा है, इसलिए उसमें से कोई फर्क पड़ने वाला नहीं है।
तो आम आदमी बीजेपी की भाजपा की बी टीम है?
हाँ, भाजपा ही आएगा।
नहीं, भाजपा के साथ आम आदमी पार्टी जुड़ी हुई है।
नहीं
क्या है
जुड़े।
रिश्ता आप लोग का?
वो तो आएगा ही नहीं कोई गुजरात में।
है ही नहीं।
नहीं।
आम आदमी पार्टी को कौन कौन यहाँ पे जानता है? आम आदमी पार्टी चुनाव लड़ी कोई जानता है? आम आदमी पार्टी ने अनाउंस किया है 1000 रुपया देंगे, बिजली फ्री देंगे, किसी को पता है?
ये तो सब उसने बोला, लेकिन क्या हमारे आंकला विधानसभा में तो कोई आम आदमी का कैंडिडेट को अभी कोई प्रचार करने का आया है ही नहीं। लेकिन गांव में कोई आम आदमी पार्टी का कोई मतदार है नहीं, तो यहाँ गामड़े में तो सब कांग्रेस वाला चलता है।
मुझे ये बताइए, आप लोग इतने सारे लोग यहाँ पर हैं, सब लोग किसी भाजपा के साथ हैं, कांग्रेस के साथ है? भाजपा के साथ कौन कौन है, हाथ उठाइए। यहाँ पर कांग्रेस वाले ज्यादा हैं। चलिए मुझे ये बताइए आम आदमी पार्टी का इस चुनाव में क्या है?
कुछ नहीं है। यहाँ पे कुछ नहीं है। आकला में शिव अमित चावड़ा ही आएंगे, उनका काम बहुत अच्छा है इसलिए।
हाँ, तो ये लोकल चुनाव है या मोदी जी के नाम पे चुनाव हो रहा है?
मोदी के नाम से आएगा और गुलाब सिंह जाएगा, ओगला तालुका गुलाब सिंह जाएगा।
ये चुनाव मोदी जी के नाम पर है?
मैडम, हमारे एमएलए अमित चावड़ा जानते हैं, पूरे गांव के पूरे तालुकों को पहचानते हैं। वो अमित चावड़ा ही आएगा इधर।
आप बोलते हैं लोकल है चुनाव में सबसे बड़ा चेहरा भाजपा का
मोदी जी और अपना मुख्यमंत्री पटेल साहब से।
मुद्दा यहाँ पे अमित चावड़ा है, हम सभी अमित चावड़ा के।
नहीं, किस बात पर? इशू तो होगा ना कुछ।
तो हमारे गांव में ज्यादा बहुत काम किया है, शेड लगाया 20 लाख का अमित चावड़ा की ग्रांट है, ब्लॉक लगाया, सब आरसीसी रोड, सभी काम यहाँ पे हमारे धारासभ्य अमित चावड़ा ने किए हैं।
तो आम आदमी पार्टी पर आप लोग को विश्वास है?
नहीं,
युवा क्या चाहता है? युवा क्या चाहता है?
आज का युवा यही चाहता है कि देखो, पहले तो कांग्रेस हमारा काम कर रही है, इधर के एरिया में आप देखो, ये हमारे गांव के सरपंच है, पहले से ही हम सब साथ में है और सबका काम उन्होंने किया है और आगे भी करेंगे और जीतने वाले तो यही है। यहाँ सिर्फ भाजपा।
तो आप मानते हैं कि जो चुनाव है वो भाजपा और कांग्रेस के बीच में?
हाँ, यहाँ तो
भाजपा है, कांग्रेस
दो ही पक्ष है। आम आदमी पार्टी का तो यहाँ कोई निशानी नहीं है, कोई कैंडिडेट भी नहीं खड़ा हुआ।
Vidyaben, Jayaben, Neetaben are clear about their choice. The 1,000 rupee honorarium for women announced by the Aam Aadmi Party doesn't impress them.
बड़ा मुद्दा क्या है चुनाव में?
सबसे बड़ा मुद्दा तो यही है कि हमको सब कुछ मिले, ऐसा ही अच्छा है। पानी, बिजली सब कुछ मिले, अभी अनाज सब मुफ्त मिलता है, वही अच्छा है।
अभी अनाज मुफ्त मिलता है?
हाँ, सब कुछ मिल रहा है, इसलिए मोदी के देंगे।
मोदी को? मोदी तो प्रधानमंत्री हैं।
हाँ, तो मोदी साहब
गुलाब सिंह यहाँ के हैं।
अच्छा, के नहीं है,
अच्छा, तो नहीं, लेकिन मुझे ये बताइए कि आप बोल रही हैं मोदी को वोट देंगे, मोदी ने क्या किया आपके लिए?
सब कुछ दिया मोदी।
क्या?
कोरोना में मुफ्त मिला, वैक्सीन मुफ्त दिया, अनाज गैस दिया, सब कुछ दिया, बाथरूम दिया।
और जो आम आदमी पार्टी बोल रहा है कि 1,000 रुपया देगा सब औरत के हाथ में,
तो नहीं आपे मैम वोट, हमें मोदी सरकार ने जोट आपी सी। हाँ,
हमारा नहीं जोता 1,000 रुपया।
1,000 रुपया जोता नहीं, हमारा एमना वोट आपको नहीं,
हमें मोदी सरकार ने तो वोट आपी सी, आप चाया से नापी सी।
1,000 रुपया नहीं चाहिए?
नहीं चाहिए।
जो आम आदमी पार्टी अरविंद केजरीवाल बोल रहे हैं 1,000 रुपया देंगे सब औरत को,
नहीं चाहिए हमें।
क्यों
नहीं चाहिए?
1,000 रुपया का लेवा पड़ी जैसे, पण हमारे काम तो थશે नहीं, तो હું કરીશું અમે? કામ તો મોદી સાહેબ જ કરવાના છે અને મોદી સાહેબ કરતા રહેવાના છે અને બધું.
15 kilometers from Anand, in Borsard's Hanifa School, universal adult franchise is the topic of discussion. First-time voters here speak about startups and innovations and hope to start their own business soon, keeping with the tradition of the state. They say they want to move away from traditional businesses.
Like most of the person, if they get into a field of education, the one thing and the first thing that comes is like I want to own my own industry, right? But how many are successful, nobody's know, and what is the ratio, that is never ever revealed out. So the first thing is startups. If we talk, then I don't think that every startup is a successful startup. Everyone applied in, there is a failure, and then they think like, okay, it's not gonna work, and they leave it. But you said that what government should emphasize and how the young mind would develop. So I think like Shark Tank, they provide financial and they provide also some advices. Like, so if government starts something like that for every young mind, I think the startups in India would be having a higher ratio of success as it is in present.
The support from government is financial, or it can be the subsidies. Yeah, the subsidies they provide, or there should be more subsidies. They should give more subsidies, like electricity. Like
and do you think the support that can come is also in the form of seed capital or laboratory where your ideas can grow?
Yeah, ma'am. We can see if anything new, anything discover in the world. हम देख रहे हैं कि कोई भी चीज़ अगर डिस्कवर होती है तो उस पे 2 या 3 यूनिवर्सिटी का स्टेम लगता है, ऑक्सफोर्ड या कैम्ब्रिज या MIT. हो सकता है अगर इंडिया डेवलप करे तो आने वाले कुछ समय में, जैसे क्वांटम फिजिक्स में डेवलपमेंट हो रहा है, कि मैं चाहता हूँ कि इंडिया का भी कोई स्टेम लगना चाहिए किसी थियोरी पर, किसी रिसर्च पर, किसी डिस्कवरी पर। तो ये होना चाहिए कि एक ऐसी बड़ी इंस्टीट्यूट बनाए, जैसे IIT अभी चल रही है, लेकिन एक पर्टिकुलर ऐसी बड़ी इंस्टीट्यूट बनाए इंडिया कि उसमें रिसर्च हो, और ऐसे रिसर्च हो जो अभी तक रिसर्च हुए नहीं, उन पर काम नहीं हुआ, ऐसा काम हो, और किसी एक अच्छी थ्योरी पर, अच्छी इन्वेंशन पर, अच्छी डिस्कवरी पर इंडिया का एक स्टैंप लगे।
Kishore Tarachandrani started a web solutions company 20 years ago. His grandfather was one of the pioneers in the hosiery business in Bhavnagar, but he wanted to create mobile apps and websites.
Grandfather started the hosiery business in Bhavnagar, and we were pioneers in hosiery business in Bhavnagar. Probably at that time there was not one hosiery unit in Bhavnagar who did not work under my grandfather. So he was kind of a godfather for the industry. But because my father was not interested too much in business, he was a literature man. He branched out and he continued the business for some time, but then eventually we closed down the business. There are a few hits and misses. I think the kind of safety and kind of comfort Gujarat offers is unparalleled. Absolutely unparalleled, and there is a lot of cultural vibe, so it's a great place to do business.
His company now has businesses in 4 countries, and Kishore says the startup world has changed after COVID-19. What are the hits and misses in the startup area?
Well, if I had to say in one sentence, government is trying to write a poetry with a lot of spelling mistakes. So the basic, the broad strokes are all in line. We can see the vision the government has to, give the impetus to the startups. But the whole cycle has to be greased and well oiled, and which is still not the case. There are a lot of missing pieces of the puzzle which still have to fall in place. So if you see other European and countries and America, the startup culture is very well integrated with the college or the education system. I still feel that in terms of India, the education system is very unconnected with the rest of the industry. There's a huge gap there. I think the man on the top has a vision, right? And I appreciate that. If I would speak about Baroda, in last 10 years we have a new shiny airport, we have a new bus station, bus terminal that is looking very nice and very amazing. We have lots of flyovers. We have so many. We have new highway being constructed to Bombay. We have we have amazing new rail trains that they have started, Vande Bharat trains, and this bullet train that is going to start hopefully soon. So there is development that is visible and that you see.
These seats in north and central Gujarat go to the polls in phase 2 on December 5th. The BJP is banking on its Vikas drive to hold these critical regions. But the Aam Aadmi Party aims to take advantage of the Congress Party's waning influence to emerge as the prime challenger. However, it seems its freebie pitch has few takers in this entrepreneurial hub. In Vadodara and Anand, with video journalist Pramod, this is Marya Shakil.